Okay. Hello. Just getting everything set up here. Make sure you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. All right. Hello, everyone. Whew, it's hot in here. Let me get my little fan going here. Okay, let's do this. Now I can see what's going on. Perfect. All right. Yes, I always have to adjust something. Usually watch me for first time live. Hello, Elizabeth. Yay, first time live. Yay. Hallelujah. No, that's fun. I'm happy you get to watch it live. A lot of times people have to go back and rewatch, but either way, you're getting the information. So welcome to everyone. How much school do I have left? August. So in August, we take our certification course, or not course, exam, and we'll be certified then. So it's been a challenge. Let's put it that way. um, Surgery is a different beast. It's cold. Jamie, it's cold. I want the cold. Can you send some down to Florida? Because I like it cold. Okay. Just watching the okay, it's okay. Sending it down now. So, okay, well, we can get started. So, excuse me for being out last week. You can still hear it. You can still hear me sniffling and all that. We got a nasty cold. And I'm still like in the stuffy stage. It's not going away. It's here. It's the cold part's gone, but the stuff that lingers is still here. So you'll hear me um do that because I'm trying to breathe. So just bear with me. I am feeling better. It's just, as you know, this stuff hangs on forever. So we are doing fine. We ended up getting my mother-in-law sick. I feel bad. But everybody's doing better now, finally. Finally. That mess takes a while. What is it? To get over. So, okay, so hey everyone, welcome. What are we going to do today? Well, today I thought we would just go over, and I've shown you this probably a few times, probably more than a few, the outline feature. The reason why I want to show you this is because it's just so super cool, especially if you're going to be using the fills or any of the background fills, quilting, echoing, stippling, anything like that, that is built in, kind of via it's kind of embroidery and IQ Designer. They work together for this outline process. Um, so I thought I would go over that. I mean, we've got a lot of new members who are learning their machines and learning IQ Designer and possibly the other brand. And so this is just a really good recap to go over. Let me see what's going on right here. Okay. Oh, I can see me over here. Hey, me. So I'm reading your stuff over here too. Okay. Um, so I thought I'd go over that. The other thing that I want to talk to you about too is you still have time to sign up for the I should have got my sample out. Thanks, Ronnie. I'm trying to for my bowl cozy class. This is mostly made in the hoop. Uh, the You will need your sewing machine to finish it off. It's a really fun little class, and it teaches you a lot about IQ Designer / other company. So if you are wanting, and this one's been washed, so it's lost its shape a little bit, but I do know that this is the one we use in our kitchen. I need to make some new ones. Jason loves these, so they're great. And I'll show you how to sign up for that if you'd like to. Still have time. It's on the 17th of this month. How to find that. So all you're going to do is go to foreverbblouise.com. Let me type it in. Not Forever 21, because I am not that anymore. Forever be, and I keep messing up. So 1 second, let me get this. Forever BB Louise. Here we go. No, that's Facebook. I'll just hit that. So yours is going to go to the front page just like this. So Forever BB Louise, that's my website. And then you're going to go to the shop icon up at the top, and you're going to set that. You're just going to scroll down a little bit, and here is the Bowl Cozy class. You're going to click on that, and then you'll add it to cart, and you'll pay for it. It's how much am I charging? Oh, $30. And it comes with everything that you need for the class. So it comes with the directions, the supply list, and the Zoom link with the password. It'll be, you can log on that day for the class. It is recorded. So that means if you do not make it that day, you're more than welcome to rewatch at your leisure anytime, and that's recorded forever. So that is yours forever. These directions, supply list, and the Zoom link to the password will be sent to you via email, I believe. I haven't bought off my own site, so I'm not really sure how it really does. I think it sends it to you via email. But if you have a problem with that, you can just send me an email at foreverbblouise. Well, it's foreverbblouise at gmail.com. So you can always send me a little hello. You also have an option here, and a lot of people use this, and I love this icon down here. This is the question. So you just send me a message through the website. It's really cool. And then I'm able to answer you back through the website. It'll send you an email. So you can do it that way if you like. Let's see, what else have we got up there? Let's go back to products. So there's also a few other products. There's some free embroidery stuff here, but there's also a few other little, there's a free design there. My birdhouse pattern is on there too. If you feeling a little frisky and you want to learn some paper piecing, I'm your girl. All right. So that's that's how you find the class. Let me do something here, make sure I can see what's happening. What's happening over here? Okay, so William says, what part do you need of your sewing machine for the bowl? Well, we're going to make the two pieces. We're going to design the two pieces with fills and embroidery and all that, the top and the bottom, in IQ Designer. And then we're going to put them together using a sewing machine. So just using your sewing part, just a 1/4 inch foot, a regular foot, sewing thread, that's it. How have I been with the storms? We've had no storms. We had one last night, but it was like to us a baby storm. It really wasn't a storm. It was but we've been doing good actually. So let me see what that says real quick. What machine today? What am I using today? I'm using the Solaris today, but it doesn't matter because you're going to be able to do whatever I teach you usually, and not usually, always. If it's IQ Designer based, we can always do it on the Altair, Meridian, Destiny, and the Solaris, and now the new Radiance. You can do everything that I'm doing on any of those machines. Now you do need one of those machines or other brand to make this. So because we are using not only a large hoop, we're using IQ Designer and all of that. So there we go. All right. Let me get my example ready. And I'm going to show you guys this under the camera a little bit better. But you may be asking, what is she talking about outlining? Well, I don't know. And yeah, you can't see it very well. But basically, when we use our decorative fills, we can have the possibility, or what's the right word? I don't know. The possibility to either have the fills be in the full background of your embroidery design, or we can outline around the embroidery design where there are no stitches underneath. So that's why I like the outline feature, is because there's no stitching underneath my embroidery design. I don't need all those extra stitches underneath my embroidery design. So here is number one. You can kind of see the beehive or the hexes, if you want to call them that, background fill. Also, if you look at this, this is the echo fill. So I'm going to show you the echo fill. And I think those are the two I used on this. So we're going to play around with the outline. I'm going to talk to you about the echo fill depending on what machine you have. Not all machines have it, unfortunately. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, okay, Judy. Yeah, you can use either one. Now, if you want the echo fill, that's not the right thing. The echo fill is on the Solaris. I'm going to assume the Radiance. I'm assuming right now. So if you have the Radiance, let me know. And the Altair, the Meridian 2. So those are the two that are on, the Echo is on the Altair Meridian 2. So I will show you that. But yeah, let me see. Just making sure. Yeah, I made this fun little runner. These designs were part of, and my head is, I'm still stuffy, so I'm still like, these are my designs that I helped create with Baby Lot, so my bees, and they were with a special purchase of the Solaris, maybe one of those. So Radiance, does the Radiance have it? Okay. I guess you're saying Radiance, so they might, I'm assuming. So, and then I just use the built-in letters to add in some fun little sayings. So just be magnificent, love and be loved. So that's my fun little table runner wall hanging. I'm proud of it. I really like it. Also the Meridian and Altair 1 with the upgrade. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'll show you where you're going to be retired or nurse. I'm not retired or a nurse. I want to be retired. Can I be retired? Can someone, just so I can sew all day? Okay. Let's see. I saw that up there. Love the. Am I getting some likes? Okay. Oh, I think I know what you're asking. If I was retiring or if I was going to be a nurse. Actually, no, I'm a surgical tech. That's what I'm doing. It's hard. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch over to the machine because I feel like I'm rambling right now. And I want to show you this great feature that we have. Y'all ready? Okay. No more rambling, Anna. All right, there we go. There she is. Let's turn off that blinding light that's hitting the screen. There we go. All right. Retirement means being busier than working. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that if I get to do, when I retire, I get to actually like just stay in my sewing room. That's what I do on the weekends. I literally just come in here. I don't have to be doing anything. I can put on a movie and just watch a movie in here and be happy. Just because I'm surrounded by all my fun stuff, my machines, my fabric. They're like my little friends. That may be a little sad, but I'm happy here in my little sewing room. Okay, so when we're talking about the outline feature, usually we have an embroidery design that is already up on the screen. So if I wanted to create, if I wanted to use this design right here, now if you look around the center design, you're going to see, I know it's in white, but you can see an outline of my design. That means that there is no stitching behind my design. The only place that the background fill is outside of my design. Look at the word just. So that one shows up a little bit better. You can see the outline around the word just. That's what I've been talking about. That's what we're going to do. And it actually makes everything look really cool. It kind of pops things out a little bit too with this outline. So let's just say we have an embroidery design, and I'm just going to go pick one. I found a cute one earlier. Of course, it has some little bees with it, and it's one of the built-in designs. So I'm just selecting any old design, and I'm going to select the word set. And I'm going to show y'all two different ways. First, I'm going to show you in IQ Designer. Then I'm going to show you an even faster way. If your machine, depending on which upgrade you have, has the ability to do this. Let's see. Everyone wants more sew time. I do. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do, just so we can see this better, is actually enlarge this. And if you didn't know this already about your machine, if you have IQ Designer built into your machine, on the embroidery side, we actually have a built-in digitizer that basically you can take any of your embroidery designs and make them a lot bigger. Now, traditionally, and sorry guys, traditionally in an embroidery machine, the only percentage we can go up with our design is 20% bigger or 10% smaller. But since we have IQ Designer built into our machine, if I go to edit and go to size, I have this one little button right here, and it's just going to say, hey, are you okay? I'm going to say, okay. Basically, I turned on I'm going to call this the digitizing button. I'm not sure I don't remember what it's called, but I'm calling it the digitizing button. And that's my quote unquote. So what I'm able to do now, instead of the 20% larger, I'm able to go up to 200%. Or from the original size down 60%. So yeah, I love this feature because what it does is when you make something larger, what happens with the embroidery design, if you don't have a digitizer, it spreads everything out. There's no additional stitching added in. But if we have a digitizer, it will add that additional stitching in. Now, if we go way smaller and we don't have a digitizer, what happens? Those stitches all end up on each other. And then when you go to stitch it out, you have a ball of thread. So the digitizer takes away stitches. So that's the easiest way to think about it when you're digitizing something. Larger means you're going to add stitches in. Smaller means you're going to take stitches out. All right, but I wanted to make it larger just so you could see it on the screen. So that's why I went through that whole spiel. Okay, so if I want to, let's say, make this a quilt block and add some beautiful decorative stitching around it, kind of like a quilt, all I have to do is first outline it. So I'm going to come to this little icon right here. Now, if your edit button is like this, you want to select edit and come down to the little flower. And what you'll notice when that happens is you'll have dark lines around your design. Now, what I like to do is move these lines away. Otherwise, they're going to sit right really, really close to your embroidery design. And I like mine to be a little bit away from the embroidery design. And usually I do a pretty good bit. So usually it's about like that. So now you can see my outline, and it's even around my little beads. Now, because I have the Solaris, I can actually do the outline in the inside as well. You can't do this on the Altair Meridian. And that feature is not available, but it is on the Solaris. So if I had the letter A in cursive, I could do the center of the A as well. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is save it to memory. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say, hey, Anna, I want you to remember this outline is going to be an IQ Designer in the stamp pattern list. So I can see IQ, and this is the icon I'm going to look for my outline. So I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to select add. I'm not going to erase anything. I don't want to go home. I want to select add. And it told me to go to IQ Designer. And it told me to look for this little icon right here. And I'm going to look for that same flower. And look, there's my design right there. So I'm going to click on it and say, okay. And ta-da, there's my outline. Now, you notice my embroidery is not there. It doesn't need to be there. We're in IQ Designer. We're not on the embroidery side. We just want the outline. So don't get nervous if you don't see your design over here. That is a-okay. But what we do want to do is decide on how big our quilt block is or whatever we're working on. Because this whole big space is your largest hoop size. So for Solaris, that is 10 5/8 by 16. Yeah. And then the Altair Meridian is 9.5 by 14. So I call it stitch recalculation. I like that. That's a good way to put it, Jack. So if I wanted all my background and my largest hoop with a decorative fill, that's fine. But let's say I know I'm going to cut my block to 8.5 by 8.5. So I can go back to that little icon and come up here. You see the hoops? I can actually tell it what hoop I'm using. And that way it doesn't make my, it makes my, oh, what am I trying to say? That way I'm only going to be able to stitch in a certain amount of space. And that way I'm not wasting fabric. So I don't have to hoop my big old 10 5/8 by 16-inch hoop. I can actually do this 9.5 by 9.5 if I want to make an 8.5 block, because I would trim it down afterwards. So I'm going to say okay. And you can see a red box around my design now, around my outline. That's the only area that it will stitch my decorative stitching. So let's go find a decorative stitch. So when you're looking at IQ Designer, you have a grouping of a few different icons. So this grouping right here is your line properties. Right below that, that second grouping right here is your fill properties. So we're going to select on the little piece of paper, and I have choices. So I can select stippling to go around my design. So if I did that, it would look like this. I would select a color, say okay, select my bucket and tap. So it would be similar to that. But of course, I can adjust the size. But if I wanted a fancy fill, then I can go back to my fills. And I'm going to select on the little icon that looks like little bubbles. And then I'm going to select. And I'm going to choose what fill I would like around that. Now, since I have the highest upgrade on the Solaris, I have 48 fills. Just depending on which machine you have, you know, you're going to have as many as the machine have. That sounded really silly. Just depending on how many fills you have, depends on the machine you have. So now for that pretty little flower, what do I want? Want something dainty. Don't want any harsh lines. Let's go back down here. I think I really just want to do some of this little wavy stuff here. So I'm going to select that one and say okay. And you can select a color and say okay. We're going to make sure our bucket is on, and we're going to tap. And there we go. So now what I would do is select next, because this is going to let me decide what size I want it to be. But if you are on a Solaris, and I'm not quite sure if it's like this on the Radiance, your outline automatically turns off. It does not do this in the Meridian or the Altair. It's automatically on. So I like mine to be on. So wherever you see the word off, click it and turn the outline on and watch what happens. Ta-da! Much better. Much, much better. That looks so good. All right. So now if I wanted to change the size of my little squirrely whirly lines, then all I have to do is come up to my percentage here. It says 100%, and I'm going to make it larger. So I can go up to what? What did we say earlier? 200%. Let's look at that. I think that's going to be way too big, but yeah, I want it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go to 175 and take a look. And excuse my sniffling. I'm going to go down a little bit more. Let's try 150. Okay. I could be happy with that. I don't know if I'm happy with the fill, but let me show you let me show you a little secret. If I was unhappy with the fill at this point, I'm looking at it, I'm not feeling it. All I have to do is come up here where I see the fill, click on it, and I'm able to change it. So let's find something else, because I really am not feeling that. I want to use something. I don't know about the circles. I'm being very indecisive tonight, everyone. Let's use this floral one right here. Let's see. I may not find something I like at all. And I'm going to make that a lot bigger. Oh, I got to turn my outline on. Let's make it bigger, and then I'll turn my outline. Yeah, see, that's better. I'm actually happier with that because it is a flower that I'm pretend stitching out. So I could be happy with that. Okay, I like the flowers. So if I was happy with the size and the actual fill and everything, all I have to do is hit set. Now, Altair Meridian users, you're going to hit preview OK, and that's going to allow you to see in real time what your stitching looks like. If you do not like the size, you're going to hit return. This is my Altair Meridian users. You're going to hit return and change your size. Your sizing and all your buttons are down here. They're the same buttons, they're just going to be down here. So if you're happy with that, you're then going to hit set OK, and there we go. I have built quilting. I call it quilting, but they are decorative fills around my design. And you can see the outline around my design. Pretty, huh? So it's really easy and fun to use, but I'm going to show you a really easier way to actually do this. So I'm going to hit my back button to take that away. Let me see if I have any questions. Nope, no questions? All right, we're good. Okay, so another way to do this is we're in the embroidery side of our machine, okay? We're going to go to edit, and I want you guys to look for this button right here. You see that? The little stipple button? I want you to click on that because I can do what I just did from the embroidery screen if I want to. You can go all the way to, now if you're going to use IQ Designer that way, or the way I just showed you, if you're building something. But if you just want to quickly throw a fill somewhere in your design, then this is going to the easiest way to do it. So first off, we can see that it filled up my entire 10 5/8 inch hoop, or 10 5/8 by 16 inch hoop. I can tell it what hoop I want to use. What did we use earlier? The 9.5. So let's click until we get to 9.5. There we go. Now, this is the stippling. So you're going to be able to see a few different things from here. The stippling. So if I wanted that distance to be a little bit further away from the embroidery design, I just push that button until I'm happy. And then I can space out the stippling. So I can make it really big, or I can make it really small, like teeny weeny stippling. Excuse me again, guys. I didn't mean to sniffle. There we go. So I would think that was something that would look good. All right, so I can do that. I can also echo around this. Now I am going to make the hoop a little bit bigger for this next step, just so you can see really well the echo. So I'm going to go to my 10 5/8 by 5/8. So this little icon right here, see that one right there? I'm going to click on it, and this is going to be the echo, which is one of my favorite things in the world. Echo quilting, people who can actually echo quilt, to me, are amazing people. All right, look how good that looked. I love that. Now I can change the spacing on that as well, and the distance again away from the design. But I can change the spacing. Let's go up kind of big so you can see it. It has to think. All right, let's see what this is going to look like. Oh, come on. She's really thinking hard. There we go. So you can see that's way big. Now, if we go way down, I don't think I've ever taken it as low as it can go. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, just got another second. Almost there. And Deborah, I'll get to your question here in just a second. Look at that echoing. Good gracious, that's tiny. Okay, let me stop for a question. What is hooped when stitching? Is it the front and the batting and the stabilizer. Can I have the back on the piece if you want the design to show through the back? Yeah, if there is no print on the back. Yes, absolutely. You can make these blocks separately and then sew them in and then put a backing on. That's what I did with this one. These blocks I all made separate, and then I added a border. I added more batting, and then I just added my backing on. And then I quilted around the sashing. Or you can take your whole quilt and you can hoop it, and that is your top. Ooh, that is your top piece. That is your batting and your backing. Yes, you can treat this like a quilt if you want to. Absolutely, you can. So you can take your embroidery thread and put it in the bobbin so you can have the same color on top and bottom. So yeah, yes, you can do it however you want. It's pretty cool. Okay, so the last thing is this little icon right here. Remember I said little bubbles earlier? And when we clicked on the little bubbles, that was your fill stitching, your decorative fills. Look, they're right here too. So I can select from this screen my decorative fills. So you see the word select right here. We're just going to click on that and it's going to open up all those beautiful decorative fills. So let's go find a different one we have. Let's see. Let's do these leaves and say, okay. Ooh, that's kind of pretty, but I would want them to be bigger. Again, I can move my distance away, but you can see if I zoom in a little bit, let me zoom in for you right here. Can you see the outline around my design? With the decorative stitches, or excuse me, the decorative fills, it's going to add that outline. How pretty is that? So let me zoom back out. And I'm going to, I don't need to change the distance, but the size of my fill stitching, I can make it a little bigger. I can make it a lot smaller. I can do whatever I want. I am the boss. Let's kind of make it big. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, it's kind of fun. Kind of just like, it has a lot of movement to it. So with that, I have my 3 different choices all on the embroidery side of the machine. So again, that is going to be under this icon right here. If I want to do it in IQ Designer, I'm going to click this button right here. Now, that's what you see me do mostly when we're working on something, is we take it all the way to IQ Designer. Yes, I could do it all right here in front of you, but here's the thing. I want you to learn IQ Designer, so I take you all the way there. It's a lot of fun. If I have a square, can I echo inside of this square? If I have a square. If you have a square, and I don't know if you're asking if you have a design inside of the square or just a regular square. I mean, yes, you can, because let's go to, and I don't know if this is what you're asking, but let's go to IQ Designer and let's pull up a square. So this will actually stitch out as embroidery right here. So all I have to do is go to my fill stitching, select it, select a design, and say, okay, select the color, and turn on, and there it is, it's in my square. Now, let's say we have a square within a square. So let's grab another square. And I'm going to change the size. I have a square within a square. Can I put two different designs in there? Yeah, I can. So first we'll put our bubbles back. And then we'll go select a different one, different color, and boom. Now, this is going to be a satin stitch when I go to next. So when you see this, it's around the edges, you're going to see a satin stitch. But there you go. So, Lynn, I hope that answered your question. Now, if you're talking about you actually have a square that's already stitched out, kind of like a quilt square, can you put it in there? You can. You're going to have to use your scanner if we're talking about that. And a couple of weeks or a few weeks back, I don't remember when I showed you this, but it wasn't too long ago. I showed you how you could scan and then put your different decorative stitches in different places on your quilt. So if we look in the middle, there's some decorative stitches. And then in the gray part, there's some decorative stitches. So I did show you how to do that. Remember, and I'll show you guys again. Oh, echo in a square? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Boom. Hold on, let me play around real quick. So if you have a square, so we would have to have an embroidered square, right? Next, set, okay. But we would have to have an embroidery design in the middle to echo. So I would go and choose something small. That's not small. There we go. And then go to edit and go to echo. Cancel. Let me see. Let me try something here. So it wants to do everything on the outside of the last embroidery. So it doesn't want to do anything on the inside. So with the echo. Now, if we were doing using the outline feature and you have the Solaris, you could turn on the inside, but it's not going around the little gecko. So, let me see something. Nope, still not. So I think that's going to be a no unless someone else comes up with a square in the middle and then echo around it. So put a square in the middle and echo around it. I mean, we can echo around the square. I don't know if I'm really understanding, but it looks like no matter what we do, I can't echo inside of something. So if I have a square, it's going to echo on the outside of it. Trying to get. What was that? 6 by 6. Let me see. That's still not working. There we go. 7 by 14. 8 by 8. There's a little echo around, just a little echo. So I may be totally not understanding the question, but you can only echo, it looks like you can only echo around the outside of this square, not inside of the square. We would have to take the square away. Oh, I have a quilt that has geometric boxes, no designs, but I'd like to echo inside one of the boxes. Okay. Probably not. And let me tell you why. Because it needs an embroidery design, Lynn, to echo around. So that makes more sense. We need something for it to echo around. If we were to scan, let me think here. If we were to scan in the fabric, okay, if you were able to scan in the fabric and an IQ designer trace around the design, we probably could, but we can't do it from this point. So let's see. I would like to echo inside one of the blocks. You have to have something to echo around. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, I want to be able to do it so bad. I'm sorry, I don't think so. But if someone comes up with that, yeah, and see, Susan came up with a great idea. You can make a tiny circle, no sew, and echo around it. Actually, that would work, but it's not going to echo around. Oh, yeah, Ronnie, yes, I know. Yeah, that definitely, I do know that. But I think what I'm trying to do is echo inside of a box. So I think I'm just confusing myself and probably everyone else. But so Susan said you can make a tiny circle or a shape over in the, if she creates a box around the geometrical block to define the block, could she echo inside? She needs something to echo around. So like Susan said, you can make a tiny circle, click on no sew, click on the circle. Oh no, you would have to have it stitch out. Because no sew is not going to come all the way over to embroidery. I wish I had an example. Let me see. Let's see. Well, let me hoop some fabric. Let me find something geometric and let's see if we can do it. All right, if you can hear me, I'm going to hoop some fabric. We're going to try something. Configuration. Okay, so I have some fabric here. This is the quickest geometric shape I could find. Let's say I wanted to echo around one of these designs here. This is what I think you can do. Now, depending on what machine you have, you're going to scan in your fabric. So since I'm on the Solaris, I can scan directly in the machine. If I was on my Altair Meridian, I would have to use the app. So let's scan into our fabric. Let's go home. Let's go to IQ Designer. It just takes me a few minutes to think about things. So image scan, scan, okay. We may be able to do this. We're going to see if we can. Think I have an idea. Okay, let me brighten that and zoom in. Okay, so I have my fabric. Let's say I wanted to echo around this particular one right here. What I need to do is draw around that. So I am going to go and grab, since it's going to be straight lines and I want it to close off in the end, I'm going to grab this zigzaggy one right here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. We're going to use this little guy right here. Let's hand it over. We're going to use this one right here. And I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. And I am going to select this button here. And I'm going to draw around it. But here's the thing, I cannot turn on no sew. And the reason being is it will not transfer over to the embroidery. So you want to get it exactly where you want it. That line is going to stitch out. Okay. Now, without taking anything off the hoop or anything like that, I am going to go, well, first I'm going to tell it I want it to be a running stitch because that's what the echo is. It is a running stitch. So I'm going to select running stitch and I'm going to select my bucket and tap on it. So now if I lighten this up, all I have is this shape right here. So if I go to next and set and okay, now I can go to my edit key and tell it what hoop I have on. I have my fabric. Now I'm not taking my hoop out or my fabric out or anything. I'm leaving it on the hoop. Excuse me, in the hoop. Don't remove your fabric. I'm going to tell it what hoop I'm using when I go to my echo. So I'm going to come here to echo, or to the, I shouldn't say echo, to the stitching, and select echo. So you see it will echo around it, but I'm using a 4x4 inch hoop. So I'm going to tell it I'm using a 4x, oh, I should have went the other way. Let's go the other way. Oh, that was it. My bad. And you see how it's off to the side? That's because I don't have it hooped directly in the middle. So now it will echo or directly around that shape that I drew. And now it will stitch out. Now, if I want to see that, I can scan my hoop. Or if you have an Altair Meridian, you're going to use the app. Okay, and there's my fabric. Let's zoom in. Close. Let's zoom in. Yeah. Hit the return. There we go. Let's zoom in to about 200%. Now we can see my echoing around this little design. Now I can keep going. I mean, I could have did a little circle here and echoed around it and all that. So a small box inside her scan square, then echo around. Stitches might not match, but will be a design choice. Yep. So basically, you're going to have to use IQ Designer. You're going to have to scan it in, and then you're going to have to trace the design. Do not turn on no sew. Unfortunately, I wish that worked. That would be great if it did. If it did. But we have to have a line. We have to have stitching come over to the embroidery side of it. So hopefully, I think that helped. I think that's about it. I think that's where my brain is going with that process. So hopefully that made sense. So Lynn, let me know how that worked for you. If you try it out, yeah. But we can always scan our fabric in, and we can always use our fabric as a design platform, right? So really fun. And let me zoom in on that a little bit again so you can see the lines around. Now, if we wanted it to go around multiple, we would have had to trace multiple different shapes. So hopefully that makes sense. I know sometimes I don't make a lot of sense, but I know what I'm saying. Okay, cool. All right. So with that being said, I am moving stuff apparently. I'm going to jump back to me here. Get that light back on because I look, if I don't have that on, look how weird that looks. Ah, that looks better. Okay. So hopefully I'm going to move this so I don't knock it over. Hopefully that helps you understand the outline process a little bit better so you can go and have fun. Now I'm going to point out on my wall what I have used that for. So, and it's hard to see, but that right up there, I used outline on it. You can't see from your screen the fill stitching, but the fill stitching is from Design Suite's Geometric. It's beautiful. Also, I use that same technique on the Sew Fearlessly. On this little rainbow right back over here. So I use it on a lot of different things. No, that's not it. I have a lot of samples. But hopefully, like I said, that will give you a little bit more understanding of how that feature works. If you have any questions as you're going along and you're working on things, please send me a message or post it in the Facebook group. That way we can answer your question, because sometimes y'all get to the question before I do, and I'm like, that's a great answer. Good one on them. So I just leave that answer. I mean, that's perfect. I love that you help each other out. So thank you guys for coming. If you want to sign up for the Bowl Cozy, IQ Bowl Cozy, please go to the website. It's foreverbblouise.com. And sign up for that. You still have time. It's not till the 17th. How do I make this? I was trying to enlarge a font for monogramming on a towel, and I have the Solaris. How do you make the letters larger? Yeah, I can switch around and do that real quick. So let's look at some larger letters. Now, Susan, if you can answer me a question, are these letters that are built into the machine, or are they letters that you have brought in? Oh, Denise, thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm definitely loosey-goosey. What happened here? Oh, my bad. Here we go. There we go. It's like, where did my screen go? There she is. Let's turn that light. So, Susan, let me know so I know what I'm showing you. If you are trying to make the letters larger that are built in, if you're working with these, they will only go up a certain percentage depending on each letter, or each font. Okay, so if you are using these letters, Susan, they will only go up so far. So let's say I wanted to use this one and you said you're using an 8 and you want it to be 3 inches. Oops, let's turn that background off. Oh. Wrong button. Oh, okay. Okay. If I go to edit and size, you can see that my digitizing button is blurred out. So it's only going to let me go a certain amount, and it decides. So if I press and hold the larger button, This is as large as it's going to get, 1.77 by 2.13. So unfortunately, we can't make these any larger. Now, if you have Palette 11 software, you're able to do that. So I encourage you to look at grouping number 4. There are some nice designs in there, but some of them are a little bit more decorative. Like if you were looking at this one, let's see what the H looks like there. That's the H. And that one, let me get rid of the other little guy. You may not want it that fancy. How do I get it to outline the actual letter when embroidering? Oh, if you have what? Palette 11 software is an embroidery software that is a digitizing software. You can make anything as big as you want. It's awesome. How do I get it to outline the actual letter when embroidering? You're going to use the same process. So let's say this is the letter you chose. We're going to go to edit, and we're going to go to either our outline, and see it created an outline, and then I can go into IQ Designer and add a fill stitching around it by selecting memory, or I can come to my fills. Now, if you're looking for just an outline, that is something you may have to, if you just want an outline on it, ooh, let's see, how could we do? And no decorative stitching. It would be a satin outline, but you could use the applique feature, if that's what you're asking, if you just want a basic little outline on the outside of it. But like I said, that's going to be applique, and it's going to have a satin outline on the outside of it. Just an outline on the letter, yeah. She liked the first H. Oh, bummer. Yeah, unfortunately, this one will not go any bigger. Now, I do know, Susan, I do know that you can go to Etsy or anything like that and pre-purchase letters. And if you bring something in, so anything, even though the letters I'm talking about, I wish I had one on the USB stick for you, but any embroidery design you bring in, any embroidery design you bring in, well, let me see what I have on my USB. I don't have anything on my USB. Let's pretend. I'm going to go to my saved file. Yeah. Here's my bee. My bee is not built in. No, that one's not it. That's not my bee. That's someone else's bee. I know I have some designs. Let me find. So I can explain what I'm about to talk about. Here we go. Here's a bee. That's my bee. Let me select that and delete. Okay, here's my little bee here. Ronnie, no, you can't. You cannot put an embroidery design inside of IQ Designer and make it bigger. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. Okay. So if you purchase letters and bring them in, let's say that H, let's pretend like this is an H, and I purchased it off of an embroidery website, and I brought that H in. No matter what embroidery design I bring in, I can go to edit, size, and select this little guy right here. That is that little digitizer I was telling you about. And remember I told you, what did I do? I don't know what I did. But remember, I told you you can make it up to 200% bigger. So let's see how big she is. That's a big B. I don't know. How did I rotate it? There we go. I don't know what happened. But you could get your H up to any size. Now, I do know that if you purchase those files out there, that you can buy them already in 3 inches, or you can buy them already in 2 inches. Sometimes monogram packs come with a bunch of different sizes, so you can do, you know, your H in the middle at 3 inches, and then your, I don't know, let's say, what other 2 letters you're going to do on the sides of the H are 2 inches, so it looks like a real monogram. So, yeah. But the outlining thing, if I just wanted to outline him, it's going to be a satin stick from our machine. This actually turns it into an applique, but we can skip the applique process and just have that little outline, which actually looks kind of pretty. Yeah, Susan. But you can, like I said, you can purchase them already 3 inches. Just look on Etsy. Etsy's a great place for some really great embroidery monogram designs. I have tons of them because I used to do monogramming. So that was like a little side business I had. So I have a ton of pre-purchased embroidery fonts. Now, if you have Palette 11 software, there are tons of fonts built into that you could actually use. But not everybody has software. So hopefully that helps. I know I kind of over talk things, but I want you to get all the information. You do have it? Ooh, okay. Well, you could actually build your monogram inside of Palette 11 software. There are, and maybe I can do that next week. Maybe show y'all how to do monograms in Palette 11. Unfortunately, don't have time tonight, or else I would, but I definitely have time next week to show you guys that. So, among some other things that we'll do. Yeah, it's a learning experience with Palette. So it's actually really easy to make a monogram in there. So you're probably needing it sooner than that. Maybe I can jump on later on this week and do a quick little let me see what evening I can jump on, and I'll let y'all know, and we could do a really quick Palette monogram lesson. Would that be fun? I think that'd be fun. So I'll pick a day and let you guys know. All right, so let's see if there are any questions that I missed. Oh, I did double check that. That's when we were all talking about that. Okay. All right, well, great. So can she print the letter on a printer, bring it through the camera, and then blow it up there? Yeah. Yeah, you can. What you can do that. You could have a printer, you can print it off. Depending on okay, this depends on what machine you have. If you have Altair Meridian, you don't have to print it. You can just shoot it over to IQ Designer with the app, which you can do here also. Or you can print it off if you have a Solaris and put it on your little board, your magnetic board that came with it. You can scan it in to IQ Designer, and that will turn it into an embroidery. You can do that. But I tell you, the palette thing, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it because you're gonna be able to build all kind of monograms off of that. Okay, so thank you all for coming tonight, for gracing me with your beautiful presence. I love doing this, and I'm so happy you guys joined on. I will make sure this gets posted to YouTube later on this evening, so you can always go back to YouTube and watch it. I will make sure to put a post up letting you know that it is on YouTube so you can click on it. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just let me know and let's see if I can help you out. And especially as you're going along designing, especially with IQ Designer or any embroidery questions you may have. What stabilizer to use or how do I hoop this or whatever, just let me know. I can always throw it into a live, and that way everyone can see how to do whatever you're asking. All right, everyone. So I hope you all have a fabulous week. Um, Thank you. Make sure to sign in next Sunday for another fun live. And maybe in the middle of the week, maybe Wednesday, I'll do a quick palette lesson. So now I am not the palette guru, but I know how to do some things. So I know enough to get by. So if you have a lot of palette questions, I may not be able to answer them, but I will guide you to people who can, who are amazing. Join the Baby Lock Facebook group, the Palette 11 group. It is the Baby Lock sanctioned group. They are amazing on there. You've got Karen Parker and you've got Jory Snyder, and they are wonderful. So make sure to join on that group. All right, everyone. Hope you have a great week, and I will see you all next week. Let's see if I can actually sign off of this. All right. Bye, everyone. Remember to shop local, shop small, and I'll see you again. Bye.